Alright guys, what's up? I just wanted to do a quick tutorial here just to answer a few questions um, and just kind of go over a few things that I've been noticing as far as posts. I'm going to show you guys how I do a post, and I'm doing it on NFL Spin Zone, so just kind of ignore that I'm not on the normal site, but I just wanted to show you guys from a contributor's screen what things will look like. The first thing, of course, you all know how to get a post started, of course, with the add new. And I'm just going to show you all from start to finish. Of course, there's a couple ways to go ahead and do this. One is simply just sitting in here and typing. A lot of times what I'll do, I have a lot of larger posts, especially on this site here. So I do a lot of copying and pasting from Word to WordPress. And here's an example of why. Sometimes WordPress likes to kind of lag behind just a little bit. Not sure what it's doing right now. There we go. And so I got the title of my post here. And of course, this is the main title that you come up with. It's going to give you a little pop-up right here for your link, which we can change out at the bottom. I'll show you all how. I usually will copy this post, that part there, the title, and I put it here. I click Edit Snippet and put it under my SEO title. The main thing with the SEO title is you want it to start with whatever your keyword is. Here I'm writing a piece on the Dallas Cowboys and their head coach, so my keyword's going to be Dallas Cowboys, and as you saw, my SEO title started with that. The slug, this is the end of whatever your website link's going to be. Ours will always be, blogging dirty, and then I usually start out with Atlanta Falcons, whatever the story is. This time I'm going to do Jason Garrett, hot seat. Just doing a quick post about Jason Garrett and whether or not he should be worried about his job. Again, I'll take this title here and I'll come down to the bottom. And you got your little featured titles, your popular titles, and as you see, sometimes you gotta make them a little smaller to fit. Short title usually has to be something real small. That didn't fit. There we go. A lot of times I'll just throw a little question in there because you can get away with doing it quicker. Keywords, you want to keep these pretty narrow. For us, we'll do Atlanta Falcons. And then if you're writing about players, try to make it just one or two player, kind of narrow it down. They don't want, FanSided doesn't want, 6, 7 keywords. Basically, you're going to want your team and the main person that the article's about. If it's about 2 players, throw the 2 players in there, and so on. But, just keep that kind of to a minimum. The meta description, of course, let me click my category here. The meta description, usually just a couple sentences summarizing what the paragraph's about. Here I'm going to be talking about after a loss at home to all right. And I like to get this in the green. It's not in the green, so we're going to go ahead and try to add maybe the score. Loss at home. All right, so you should just get that in the green. What I usually do with this right here, I'll copy that as well, and I'll bring it to the very top of my article. And I'm going to paste that up here. And the FanSided wants you guys to put this right here. A sentence to, a line or two, just summarizing what the article's about. Once you do that, click anywhere within the writing, and you're going to click up here where it says paragraph, and we're going to change that to heading 2. And that's just the intro they want. After that, you're going to hit enter, put in whatever you want in your article. Like I said, again, you can do it 2 ways. You can start to type the article here, however you want to do it, or you can do like I do and copy it from a Word document. However, if you do that, the best way to do so is to move to the text box. Reason for that is it just copies better. So I copy everything that I wrote, and I put it in here. This way you don't have any issues with formatting, anything like that. What it does when you do this is it's just going to put everything in the same formatting, the original formatting that they use. And as you can see, I'm going to show a couple examples of things to do. Short codes are really good to put in there. One of the main short codes we're going to want to use is going to be the recent post. Now, to keep it from messing with any of the ads, you need to do it 3 paragraphs in after the meta description up here. So then you'll go 1, 2, 3 paragraphs in and build short code, recent post, always align it right, and enter short code. And that just gives you this here. Now, some of the shorter articles, obviously, you're not going to be able to put this one in because it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. You'll end up having it to where the wording might cut off here, and this goes down to the bottom. The words don't come to the bottom of this. If that's the case, don't worry about doing that. I'm going to be putting a tweet here, so I'm actually going to do this just so that the tweet looks better once I put it in. I'm going to show you guys how to put tweets in as well. As you see my little cheat right here, just telling me where I'm going to put the tweet. I'm referencing a tweet from Mark Lane. I've got it saved right here. So what I do, you click right here, this little drop down arrow that says more. Copy link to tweet. It's going to tell you that you copied it, and it's this simple, just to put it where you want it. And no, don't do it that way. Now just hit Control V, copy, or paste, excuse me, and it just puts it in there right like that. The last thing we want to do with the whole body of the article after we've written it all out is, of course, the next post. I think most people have been pretty good about this. This is a pretty simple one. You're just going to go and get yourself, I had to look up Rod Marinelli's name, how to spell it right. That's why he was there. What you'll do is you'll go to the site that we'll go to the Blogging Dirty, and you'll pick one of the main articles that's going on here. Here, for this one, I'm going to pick this Cowboys one because it goes along with what I'm talking about. And I'm going to copy it, build short code, next post, URL goes here. For the teaser, I just usually come over here, highlight the name, put that in, and insert short code. Super simple. Of course, you guys know over here you've got all your other options as far as save and everything. Make sure you're clicking that you've got all of these green. Save quite often because I've had it crash on me several times. But the next thing I'm going to show you all is what's called the Pro Football Linker. And this is something that I have to use a good bit. I usually put it in myself, so if you guys don't do it, it's not a big deal. But for anyone who is interested, I was just going to show you. The way that this one works, you have to go back to the text section, and you're going to put the text in the linker, if it lets me. All right, there we go. WordPress has been lagging for me today. Okay, so again, we're going to switch to the text section. I'll just start under the heading 2 right here. And this is another hint right here. If you guys paste something and it's just not looking right, click on the text and just kind of look around out here. A lot of times there'll be these weird codes on here that have kind of screwed things up. And you can just delete them out from there, and it usually kind of fixes it. But anyway, I start under the heading 2. I copy everything all the way down to the bottom. And then you paste it in the body here. Simple enough. Add the links. It's going to run it. It says it takes up to 30 seconds. It usually never takes that long. All right, and then you just do the same thing. You're going to copy all of this. And again, this is why you save, just in case you screw something up, which I've done a million times. That's all still highlighted, so I'm just going to do paste. And now, when I click back on the visual, as you can see, players' names are highlighted. And this one highlighted Jerry Jones, who's actually isn't a player. So you can click, you can remove it like that. Again, if you need to edit it, you can go here, edit. You can go here for remove. Like I said, I just took Jerry Jones off because it's actually not him. It's a player it refers to, and that's it. So the next thing you're going to do, I'll show you guys real quick how to do separate pages, just in case you didn't know. Right here, you got your new slide, and as you can see, that gives you your page break. If you're going to do that page break, what you'll want to do is click back onto short codes, and then you've got your next slide post right here, and it just tells you can put in, you know, what the next slide's called. And then once you do that, I'll show you the slide. You put the page break right after it, and now all of a sudden this would set up another page. Just taking it out because I don't need it for this one. Okay. So the very last thing I'll do. Oh, I spelled the name wrong. I'll fix that. The very last thing that you do, of course, is add your picture. And you always want to do this last because if you run that linker, it's going to end up linking it to players' names that are in there. All right, and I'm talking about Jason Garrett in this one, so I'm going to look for a picture of him. Getty Images is kind of a turd. I'm sure you guys have all seen that by now. So when you're trying to use it, you pick the image you want. Always do a horizontal image. I'm going to go back to that real quick, just talk about it. When we use this, any vertical images just don't look right. So like a picture like this, you know, that's not going to be any good. The best way to tell, you know, some of them look like it, but they're not. The best way to tell is right here. Make sure the first number is bigger than the second number. Click download. And this right here is something to look at too. This caption is what is going to show up if you're inserting it into like a screen grab. If it doesn't have, or not just a screen, but basically if you're just using it, you want to make sure that it has this right here. The credentials of who took the picture. You got to cite the right person, so I usually just make a copy of that and just insert it in there, and then you'll be good to go. Now, Getty's kind of, again, like I said, it's kind of a turd, so you can't just click use as featured image because that would make sense. What you have to do is click Save All Changes, and then it brings you back to look at the exact same thing you were just looking at, and then you click use this featured image, and for some reason, that works. You can always preview our articles here. Again, I'm going to save it while that one's pulling up, just so it's saved. Garrett looks confused, which most people were watching them play this weekend. And there you go. Looks beautiful. See how the picture came, the advertisement comes in right there. Right underneath the advertisement is when the short code for recent post comes. Got a little space right here before the tweet shows up. And that's it. Thing of beauty, even if it's not about the Falcons, right? But again, I've noticed some guys, I know in the past, you've had to type keywords like featured and popular. No longer do we have to do that. That's stuff that we can pick over here. Don't know why there we go. Don't know why it was still freezing. But like I said, you can pick the featured, popular. I'm not sure if you guys have the option. Now that I think about it, yeah, it's not on this one, so it's something that I would have to do. So no longer, don't worry about typing in featured, popular. I know some of you that have been here for a while, we used to have to do it on the keywords. That's no longer something we have to do. The editor will take care of that. Pay attention to this SEO right here. If it's not green, you can come on down here, and it usually gives you this list of why. A lot of times it's something really simple, but if you just read through this list here, you can usually figure out how to make it green. The readability, I don't put a lot of stock into that because I think it's annoying. But anyway, that's it on this. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this post, and that's just a quick rundown of how to do it. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and hopefully this was helpful. All right, y'all have a good one.